Hello, N4HNH here. So a while ago I shot an unboxing video of this IC-7300, the People's Radio. This is a loaner from my friend Joel, KC4WZB. Like I said in the unboxing video, he now has a Yaesu FT-101MP, the big bad boy, and so this guy here was sitting in the box for a while. So we thought, well, you know, why not shoot some videos with this and give you guys some comparisons who might be interested in checking it out, you know, versus the FT-891. The FT-891 is less expensive, $600 plus or minus, depending on sale prices. I'm not sure what an IC-7300 is going for now, but I have seen them right around $1,000 plus or minus on sale, but I think they're usually in that $1,100 range. So while this guy's still sending, let me go ahead and get to this. What I've done is I've set up the radios using an antenna switch that allows me to choose between the radios quickly. Here's a little nostalgia for you. Look at the name on that antenna switch, Avanti Research and Development Incorporated, and then look what it says, Vert and Horrors. Just so you know, I'm curious if any of you, I should play a game and just say, hey, why don't you, in fact, I think I'll do that. I'm not going to tell you where that came from. Maybe I'll let one of you comment and tell me, where do you think that switch came from, or what was it originally used for? I'm using it to toggle between the two radios. So that'll be an interesting question to see if anybody recognizes what that was originally used for. All right, so anyway, back to it. So I have him dialed in here. Incidentally, on the 7300, I'm using IP Plus, they call it OWN, but no preamps. So there you see what the guy's doing here. All right, now I'm going to switch over to the 891. And as you can see, IPO is turned on with the 891 as well. Now, I also want to point out something else. You notice that the 891 is sitting at 7.026.43. I have this one calibrated to WWV, and that is what frequency, that's where I'm getting the 600 hertz tone. In other words, when I press my 0 in button, see, it locks onto him at 7.026.43 to give me a 600 hertz side tone. So the 7300 has a similar function. Let me switch over. There's a button right here, Auto Tune, and it has the 600 hertz tone by tuning him to 7.026.45. Now that's not a whole lot of difference between the two, 20 hertz. Could be the 891 is maybe a few hertz off, or maybe the 7300 is a few hertz off, but you know, what's a few hertz among friends, right? I do know the 891, the last time I checked it, was right with WWV. Okay, so listen to the background noise. You hear the ringing. Now, those of you who have been watching my channel for some time now know that that is called ripple, filter ripple to be exact, and it's caused by the skirts of the IF filters, the roofing filters. And so we've got a little bit of that ringing going on. Now, let me show you what filter settings I have. See, there's filter 1. A little too much background noise. Filter 2 is a little better. Filter 3 is the best, and I've got the bandwidth at 50, shift at -25. That's pretty quiet. Now let's go back over to the 891. Now here's what I've got on it. Width is this button right here. Well, it's because I assigned it to be that. I show that in other videos. I've got width at 100. Take it down to 50. Now I have digital noise reduction turned on at 9, my favorite setting. Let me undo all that. So there's a 500 hertz filter width, and the reason is I've got it set on narrow, so narrow is going to go between 500 and down to 50. Ah, look at there. 4.4 is where it's found him. All right, so they are pretty close to one another. Digital noise reduction, listen to that difference. So let me back out again. Filter width 50, and then okay, here we go, DNR. Just takes out the little residual that's left. Now the icing on the cake with this radio, audio peak filter. Let's do it. Okay, back to the 7300. I want to show you something really neat that it can do. I wish Yaesu rigs would do this. Yaesu, to me, has a terrible squelch. Check this out. Now, the audio control here, this is the AF gain or volume, and then the ring, if you turn it to the right, it's a squelch. If you turn it to the left, it's an RF gain. I think that's clever, and Joel told me today that the 705 does not have that. That the knob has to do either or. You have to choose in the menu. I like that I can make it go do squelch. Now check this out. Using the squelch to quiet the in-between. Listen. May have to back off a little bit. See that little white dial going across, letting you know where your squelch is set? So you're basically saying unless it rises above here, unless it rises above S3. Let me focus that real close. So see where that little white thing is, that little arrow moving? So I'm saying there, if it's above S3, unsquelch it. So that's a pretty cool feature that the ICOM has, using the squelch to knock down the background noise. Sorry about the focus there. Let me get it back in there. Now, or I can do RF gain. And you know me, don't worry about S meters. Get that signal to noise ratio down. So there you go. All right, now we'll switch back over to the 891. No squelch being used here. Now I'll roll the RF gain back on it. Now you see on a Yaesu, when you roll the RF gain back, you're actually saying, okay, right there I'm saying unless the signal's stronger than a 3, I don't really necessarily want to hear it. So what's happening is we're knocking the background noise down, which is less than 3, but we're still able to hear his tone coming through really nice and pure. Notice the blue light verifying that we are indeed getting a 600 hertz tone. The more solid that is, the more pure the tone is. If he weakens a little bit, it'll flicker some. Again, let me remind you, if you haven't seen the previous videos I've shot about this radio, the blue light does not flicker with dits and dahs. It just, the more it's lit up, the more pure the tone is at the frequency that you want your side tone to be. So if I tuned away, see, blue light goes away. This time it chose 445. Now, I don't think that's quite right. See the blue light? No. See, 4.4 where it was before is better. If you keep pressing the zero in after it's already locked in, it'll think, oh, you're not satisfied with that, and it'll actually try something else. So I like where it is. So again, RF gain's rolled back. So let's hear what that would sound like without all the help. It's a quiet receiver as is. I mean, you can't beat this radio for the price range. Now, you might be, well, you had more noise than that a while ago, Doug, when you turned off width and digital noise reduction. Let me show you something. Remember this guy? Audio peak filter. See, it takes a lot of the noise down because all it's doing is searching for that 600 hertz tone and blocking out everything the other side of it. I mean, it's almost like a brick wall filter. But let's engage everything again. Now, this knob here, our ring on the 891 is the, let me get this, I don't have the lights on in here, so let me, you know, the ring, outer ring here, where the volume is, that serves as an RF gain, but you can go into the menu and you can make it serve as a squelch. So it's one or the other, sort of like how the 705 has it now. So that is a thing that I do like on the 7300 is this, and we're back on the 7300 now, where right now it's set on it's being an RF gain. Now it doesn't work like a Yaesu RF gain where you see the S meter come up and to say, unless it's stronger than this, I don't want to hear it. It doesn't work that way. It just, see, it even cuts the S meter reading. On a Yaesu radio, the S meter will still work. It's just that if you roll the RF gain back to say to where the needle's on a 5, then you're saying, well, unless it's more than S5, I don't want to hear it. And if it's an S6 or 7, it'll still show that. ICOM is lowering everything, including the S meter reading. So they just approach it a little differently. Now here we are back to the middle, the center 12 o'clock position on that knob right there is the neutral, if you will. No squelch, no RF gain. Now, here I am using the squelch to quiet the receiver. So, I mean, you got a lot of different ways to do it, as you can see. Now, while he's sending back to the 891, now I'm going to roll my RF gain back a little bit. Now it looks like the S meters are not in agreement, but that's probably true because Yaesu calibrates their S meters different. Let me see here. Okay, IP plus is turned off now. So no preamp. IP plus is disabled on the 7300. Let's do this. I will do right here is the button that activates the preamps. Preamp 1. Now over here on the 891, I'm going to turn off IPO, which is the equivalent in this radio of turning on amp 1. So he's hitting right at S9, back to the 7300. Well, I don't know if you caught that quick glimpse, but he was at S9, maybe a tad above. This is his buddy talking. Now see, the squelch is choking him. He's coming back now. Okay, let's go back to the 891. Okay, the squelch is making it sound a little funky. I'm going to go RF gain now. Again, don't worry about where the S meter is showing now. We're listening for the quiet background. So now RF gain is all the way up. But since I'm comparing it to the RF gain on the 7300, I will turn the RF gain left. And the S meter looks like it's resting at 3 when he's not sending. So with the AC rig, I'm just saying, look, unless the signal's more than a 3, I don't want to hear it. Well, there's somebody sending right in there with them. You hear that? Now this is a job for shift. Now this guy's right on, just about on top of him. We're not going to be able to shift away from him. Now, the twin passband tuning on the 7300 is actually helping a little bit with that adjacent channel interference. Just more background noise. So you can see the APF there. It adjusts in 10 hertz increments. So here the other guy, see when I go a negative, I'm hearing that other station that's right in there with him because he's at a lower pitch, and I'm shifting in 10 hertz increments to a lower pitch. Now if I go positive, see the audio peak filter is knocking the other guy out. Now I'm hearing my guy because my guy is closer to the pitch I'm wanting to hear anyway. So listen how quiet that is. Both are great radios, and both have their pluses and minuses, I believe. I think I favor the filtering abilities in the 891, but both radios do a great job. I do like the squelch function on the 7300. Let's get back over to it. So, you know, using the squelch to knock out the background noise. Now, with a signal that strong, honestly, you don't need the preamps. And I'll go back over to the 891 here and turn off the preamp, which is turning on IPO, intercept point optimization. See, the RF gain's doing an effective job of knocking down the background noise too, so I guess that's why Yaesu gives us a choice. You want to use a squelch or do you want to use the RF gain? I mean, listen how quiet that is. Now, I've got it pretty tight here. You can widen this out. Listen. You know, 100 hertz is probably just fine. 50 hertz is beginning to cut just a little bit of the attack off of the tones. That's what that noise, that's why it sounds a little different. 100 seems perfectly fine, and listen how clear. Okay, back over to the 7300 before I stop the video. And again, with the, in the case of the 7300, letting the squelch knock the background noise out. Or, again, rotate the RF gain left. Not so much that you lose him. Two great radios. I would say for $600-ish, the 891 definitely competes. Of course, it's not competing when it comes to the screen. I mean, look at that. Beautiful screen on the 7300. The 891 excels when it comes to just, to me, a clean receiver. So I hope you enjoyed the video there of my first video comparing. I've been wanting to do this for a while, to do a shootout between these two radios. And so I'll be doing some more with sideband and different things. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I want to thank my Patreons. I appreciate you guys so much for contributing through Patreon every month and helping keep the channel going. And I hope you've learned something from this video and the ones in the past. And hope you guys will hang in there with me for some more adventure in the future. And again, if you don't join as a Patreon, or even if you do, always please click that subscribe button, because that also helps out a whole lot with the channel as far as how we look to YouTube. All right, I want to say 73. Have a great time with whatever radio you have. A lot of the things I show on my channel can be applied to other brands of radios. A lot of the radios today have similar features, so I hope you can, even if you don't have one of these two radios, you can still take some of the things you learn here and apply them to other rigs. All right, thanks a lot for watching. 73 from N4HNH.